is Asinine Radio. This is the weekly music podcast where every week we get into a different band, different artist, and we listen to all of their records and we rank them from worst to best and we give our biggest banger from each of them. And we try to have a good time doing it. My name is Tyler. Way out there, hundreds of miles away, is Jeff. While you're listening, go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, give us 5 stars. Tell your friends, share all the posts. If you're watching on YouTube, smash that subscribe button. And that's all I have for the boring intro. So what are we doing today, Jeff? What band are we doing today?
We like to choose bands that have a fuck ton of records that all kind of sound the same. So this week we're doing Bad Religion.
We are, because we're still in punk season. I don't know how long. We're indefinitely in punk season. So I don't know why you're dancing right now, but that's okay. So yeah, we're in punk season. And
you're the fucking boss of me or something?
With a lot of punk bands, a lot of their music sounds the same. So like you said, we're choosing bands that have a lot of fucking records. And Bad Religion, they have 17 records. And we're also going to rank their Christmas songs compilation or album compilation, whatever you want to call it. So we're going to rank 18 things right now. And I guarantee we're going to get through some of this stuff pretty fucking fast because there's a lot of just fine stuff. So what do you got for number 18? Go.
What do you think my 18 is?
Into the Unknown. No, it's Christmas songs.
Yeah, it's Christmas songs for sure. That's dude, it's so dumb. The last thing I fucking want to do is hear Brett is to hear Greg sing Christmas music the same every fucking way. I know. And it's so obnoxious. And like, why does he sound like, he just sounds so mad and serious all the fucking time. And it's just, the songs that he chose, just like, he chose the most boring ass songs. So you're a boring ass band, whatever. Yeah. But yeah, I tried to listen to it twice and I can only get to the 4th track. And as soon as Little Drummer Boy hit, I'm like, nope.
Yeah, just shut it off.
Nope.
All right, my number 18 is also Christmas songs from 2013, the comp. Luckily, it's under 20 minutes. I only got 3 songs deep, and I just shut it off. I didn't even get to Little Drummer Boy. But yeah, it just starts out with him, just Greg a cappella. And whatever. He's not a bad singer, but goddamn, he sounds the same. He sings the same way in every single song, outside of their first record. But yeah, and also this Christmas songs is the last thing that Brooks Wackerman did with the band before he left to join Avenged Sevenfold. So that's my number 18, Christmas songs. What do you got for number 17? Go.
The New America, the New America, their 11th record, the year 2000. Man, this record's fucking goofy. His worst lyrics are on this record. This is a fucking joke. This is a joke of a record, and it's produced by Todd Rundgren, which I guess Greg loved and they loved, but the studio time was just an absolute disaster with him, and they didn't like it, but they like him still apparently. And also, like, this is Fat Mike's like worst record, or he hates his record with an absolute passion. He thinks his record is fucking garbage. This record sucks, dude. This is a sub 1.
Sub 1. Okay.
I give the Christmas one a 1 because, but this is a sub 1. Like, you don't need to bother with this shit. Garbage.
All right. And when you hear us shout out numbers like that, this is a 1, this is 2, whatever. We have a 3-point rating system where 3 is a perfect album, 2 is a good album you're going to continue to listen to. 1 is a bad album, but give it a shot, and 0 is the worst thing you've ever heard. So there you go. 1 and sub 1.
This might be a 0.
Well, I don't know about that, dude. All right. So yeah, my number 17 is also The New America.
Wow.
Yeah, this is it's just slow. It's not memorable at all. There's nothing, I don't think there's like anything overtly bad, but it's just, I don't remember anything from this. And then, yeah, like you said, they all hated this record. They hated making this record because they didn't get along with Todd Lundgren. And I really have nothing to say about it. It's just straight up boring record. So New America, my number 16, no banger. What do you got for that was my number 17. What do you got for number 16?
Number 16, Into the Unknown. Here's where we get to this thing. Their second record.
What are you doing with this thing?
It really wasn't that. That's what this is. But I get it. I get why this exists. These guys love prog music before punk rock, right? Epitaph is named after a prog song giant. But this is also kind of fucking punk, though. You know what I mean? Like, to drop like How Could Hell Be Any Worse and then come out with this. Like, that's very much like, fuck you. Fuck you, Rollins and everybody else who just did the same shit over and over and over. We do whatever the fuck we want. Something so out of left field that is just a good fuck you to anyone who wanted more of their first record.
Yeah.
But all of these things don't excuse just how shit this record is. Like, it's just not good. It's bad synth. It's bad songwriting. It's bad singing because Greg has no idea what the fuck he's trying to do. It's not his first record, and it's not like Greg being Greg. This is awful. This is an awful attempt, but I appreciate the attempt, but this is fucking awful. This is absolute garbage. I was hoping this would be great, and I was like, oh, fuck yeah. You know, like, oh, you guys hate the second record. Second record's the best. Like, no, dude, it was worse than I could ever have imagined.
You thought it was going to be like, you know, Rush's Caress of Steel. Everybody bitches about it, but it ended up being like their best record.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. So my number 16 is Into the Unknown as well. Second record from 83. Yeah, like you said, this is just their prog record, a shit ton of synth and keyboard on it. And Jay Bentley, the bass player, actually quit the band while they were recording this because he hated the music. And I get it. I mean, this is just, it's not that good. It really, I mean, as prog songs, as just songs in general, they're not good. But A for effort, that's why it's been bumped up a little bit. And this is such a flop that not only did they break up after this album came out,
I know.
but they went to go tour this record, and they played one show, and they only played one show playing these songs, and only 12 people showed up to the show because they all heard that they were going to be bringing keyboards and synthesizers, so nobody showed up to the show. They played the set with a bunch of these songs, and they're like, you know what, fuck it, let's just go back to what we know. And then they completely ditched everything from this record. For decades. I think they started playing one song like in the mid 2010s or something like that. They would throw it into some of their sets, but I don't remember what song it was. But yeah, most of this record has never been played live outside of that one show, and it's only ever been pressed twice. It was once when it originally came out, and then it was in the Bad Religion vinyl box set, and that's it. So if you find an OG of it, they go for quite a bit of money, and we actually saw an OG at Radiation Records.
It was
cool.
Out
here in California, so
you can literally buy it on Discogs for half of the price that he wants for it. He wants $600.
Yeah,
that guy's an idiot, dude. I don't know who's doing their pricing over there, if it's a fucking robot or something, but they're fucking morons. But what's funny about Into the Unknown is their next EP, or the next record was until 5 years later, but their next EP was called Back to the Known, and that's just like, dude, you guys are.
I like it.
You guys are that's lame, dude. That's just like talk just like a dog, man. Like, you guys are pathetic.
I like it because I do like it because they kind of laid into the, like, we know we really fucked up. Like, they really just they don't try to hide it.
That would be fun if the Vandals did it, but Bad Religion is not fun. And it would be fun if later on in their career they would pretend to play an intro to one of those songs. Like, nah, we're just kidding. Like, that would be a fun thing. But Back to the Known, that's a bitch move.
Or if they just did like one show where they played the album in its entirety just to like fuck with people, like not tell anybody, like just say, oh, it's a Bad Religion show, and then they played that record in its entirety. That would be funny. That would be so perfect.
That would be cool. I would go to that. I probably would.
But you wouldn't even know. You would think you were just going.
Oh, so it's just a normal show. They start bringing. Oh my god!
And they only play songs from.
I'd be pissed. I'd be fucking irritated.
I'd be pissed,
that would piss me off.
Respect.
That'd be punk though.
Yeah,
that'd be punk.
That'd be so sick. But anyway, Into the Unknown, number 16. I figured we were going to talk more about this record than any other record. So
yeah,
because it's just so out there. But what do you got for number 15?
Let's see. My number 15 through 3.
Yeah, my 15 through 5 or 4. I just like, okay, whatever.
I have some takeaways, some songs here. You know, like if you put together probably like 15 or 20 Bad Religion songs that aren't from like probably our top 2 albums, like you would have a fucking killer album. Like it would be amazing.
Yeah, but that's taking from 13 other records.
That's like the Foo Fighter effect, dude. That's, you know,
that's true.
So anyway, my number 15 is New Maps of Hell. Their 14th record.
Oh, okay.
I guess the best part of this record was that they initially wanted to do a double album, but Jay straight up was like, "No, we're not fucking doing that. That's stupid." So I thank him for that.
Yes, but, thank you.
Forgettable. I don't care about this record.
Moving on. My number 15 is No Substance, 10th record from 1998. It's forgettable. It's not, from here on out, there's no bad record. It's forgettable. It's shit we've heard Bad Religion do time and time and time again. But yeah, there's some metal and all rock moments on this one. And this is another record where I've never seen this album cover. Actually, this is the only Bad Religion record I've never seen the album cover of. It's the one with that like half naked
girl
woman.
and the
Yeah, she's like a
phone
red
number.
telephone and the phone number. Yeah, I've never seen that. And apparently, they never played these songs ever. So they've never really played these songs outside of the album cycle of this one. It just pretty much got kind of mixed to bad reviews, and it was one of the only records that they wrote as a full band rather than just have Greg and Brett write everything. This is more of a collaborative effort with everybody else, and it flopped. It really did, and it's just straight up boring. No substance, just whatever.
It has no substance.
Seriously. So what do you got for number 14?
Number 14, Age of Unreason, their latest album, 17. This is full on alt rock, and they've dabbled before, but they've never done like a full on alt rock fucking record. And this is it. It's not bad. It's just when I want to listen to punk music, this is not it. And if I want to listen to like alt rock, this is also not it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just like, dude, man, this is the one I've 17 albums later, but this is the one I finally realized, like, man, you're fucking annoying, Greg. Like, I hate the way you sing. but I guess it just took that long for me to finally just come around to, like, God, you're fucking
17
obnoxious.
Records.
I think it's because this record, because again, they've done alt rock songs here and there. And I think this entire record is just like an alt rock record, just masked as like punk when they go a little bit faster sometimes. But really, this is an alt rock record. And his voice in alt rock is just like, bland to the max.
All right. So my number 14 is Recipe for Hate, 7th record from 93. Some people claim to like this record, whatever. They really ditched all of their hardcore edge on this record. There's nothing resembling that on here. They experimented more. They added some country elements into some parts of the songs. It's just weird. It's unfocused.
Yeah.
And it's just like they were trying to do something different again, like they tried to do an Into the Unknown. But it just, god damn. But it just fell so flat. Recipe for Hate, I have no banger. I don't think it's a very good record. So, what do you got for number 13?
There's definitely a banger on there, but I'll get there. Okay. Number 13, True North. Man. Okay. The only thing I wrote about this one was, I don't know, it's fine. I fucking don't even remember listening to this one. What album was this? I did not recognize this one at all. That's wild. What the fuck cover is that, dude? I don't remember any of that thing about this one. Wow. Yeah, that's all. That all literally is all I wrote. I don't know. It's fine.
All right. So my number 13 is Stranger Than Fiction, 8th record from 1994.
Damn.
Does this one sit higher for you or what?
I mean, it's higher for sure, but I think you're gonna piss somebody off because these little Bad Religion cucks love some of these records more than they should.
So yeah. Wait, what? Okay, yeah. So with this record, this is like slower, kind of more mid-tempo songs. They're way more melodic at this point. The hardcore edge is completely gone. But at this point in time in '94, the punk stuff is like kind of blowing up with Green Day's Dookie, Offspring Smash, things like that. So like this punk, new wave of punk is coming in, and then just prior to this record coming out, fucking what's his name, Brett Gurewitz left the band, and then he went on to like talk shit on Greg Graffin and I don't know, it's just like a lot of just
guys, dude, just in and out and in and out,
just talking shit for just. I mean, you guys are grown ass adults. You guys are successful. Why didn't you talk shit on each other? So I don't know. This is just a boring kind of a boring mid tempo, just kind of almost like half-assed punk record. So but I do have a banger.
Fiction boring. Wow, your fucking thing better not be infected, or we're done.
It is infected.
I promise you, it is not infected.
It's just a classic catchy Bad Religion song.
I'm telling you to try again.
It's infected. That's fine.
You and me.
That's a good song.
I'll shit on that more when I get there.
That's a good song.
Because that's their worst song.
It's not their worst song.
That's their worst single. There you go. I fixed it right there.
Okay. What do you got for number 12?
Number 12, The Descent of Man, their 15 record. It's kind of funny because, so like this came out before, the one I just talked about, Age of Unreason, and that's when I complained that it was just like an alt rock record. So my notes here say the biggest takeaway here is that they would make a really bland alt rock band if they only did parts of this album sound. And then later on, 2 records later, they did that. And like, wow, actually my 12, 13, and 14 are their 15, 16, 17 records. Not that it makes like a huge difference. These can all be interchangeable because I don't give a fuck about any of these. But it's just funny because they wanted to make a kind of more like dumbed down sound for this record, make it more accessible, make it more simplified. It's just bland and boring. But they do have a banger on this one too. Turn Your Back on Me. This is the only time that they do alt rock like perfectly, and that's a damn banger of a song. Playlist on both playlists. I don't remember that song. And you listen to the playlist, and you'll get it.
All right, so my number 12 is Generator, 6th record from '92. There's really nothing wrong with this one, but we've heard this all before on Against the Grain. It's just with this one, there's some slower tempo songs. This is the first record that they did with Bobby Shayer on drums. I don't have much to say about Generator, but this is another record that a lot of people love, and whatever. I mean, if you grew up with Bad Religion and you just kind of followed their career through the decades, you probably like it way more than me. But yeah, anyway, I don't really care. The only interesting thing about this one is that it was recorded live. They recorded everything live in the room. So that's pretty different, even for a punk band like them at this time, 6 albums deep, to record live is pretty cool. So my number 12. What do you got for number 11?
The Gray Race. All right. The 9th record. Easy enough. This record's fine. It's bouncy. It's very Punk-O-Rama sounding. Very, this is the first album with Brian Baker, and it's fine. It just seems a little broken. Like not having the Greg Brett duo makes the songs kind of sound more like a compilation than it does like a cohesive album. So, it's fine. I don't really have a banger on this one, but this is another one too that's a little divisive amongst fans. People like love this one, or they think it's kind of like shit. I think it's just okay.
Yeah,
to shit.
I mean, that's most Bad Religion records, honestly. So yeah, my number 11 is also The Gray Race from '96, 9th record. This is just more of a pop punk style record, more in the vein of Green Day and Offspring at the time. Not really Bad Religion per se, outside of Greg's vocals. There's also some of the songs have like these like catchier, bigger, soaring sounding choruses, something that they really hadn't done up to that point. And then yeah, this is the first without Brett Gurewitz, like you said. So it's all Greg Graffin at this point, and Rick Ocasek actually produced this record. So that's another reason why this record is so divisive, is because he produced it, and he's obviously a lot more pop oriented, coming off of Weezer's Blue record just 2 years prior to this, which I'm sure was a big reason why they got him to do the record, because Blue just fucking exploded on the music scene. So anyway, that's my number 11, Gray Race.
Okay.
Oh, and my banger is Punk Rock Song off the Gray Race. So
Punk Rock Song.
What do you got for number 10?
Generator, the 6th record. There's some cool things here. Yeah, like you said, they recorded this almost live. It wasn't completely live, it was almost all live. And they were excited about it, which is kind of like, yeah. And you guys are 6 deep already. You're supposed to be punkers. This is the first time you're doing this? Okay, yeah. Whatever. That's cool. They slowed down a lot here. It's like kind of to get more intricate and intense with their normal stuff. So there's some of their sounds. And I like that, like competing with grunge, the movement in the early 90s, and then not succumbing to just like the mediocrity of alt rock of the 90s. Everclear, right, Skip? Oh. I think that's respectable, right? Like, just do what you want to do. Fuck it. You don't want to be that? Don't be that. But this is boring. This is not a good record. It's whatever's.
Agreed. So my number 10 is, whoa, hold on. Something happened. Okay. I thought something happened to our recording, but never mind. Yeah, nothing happened. All right. So my number 10 is The Empire Strikes First, 13th record from 2004. This is really just kind of a throwback to the late 80s, early 90s stuff. There are a couple, oddball songs, like the one with Sage Francis. Like, what the fuck was that? It was so fucking weird. Never expected Sage Francis to ever be on a Bad Religion album, but he was on that one song. And then there's like 1 or 2 other songs that are kind of like a slower jam. But overall, this is more of a throwback, which was always nice because late 80s Bad Religion is really the best Bad Religion. So that's my number 10. The Empire Strikes First. So what do you
The
got?
Empire Strikes First. Number 9, Against the Grain. Damn, we're like halfway through these fucking dumb records. Against the Grain, their 5th record.
Been going forever.
This is like the last part of their Holy Trinity, as fans call it. It's fine, bruh. That's it. It's a continuation of No Control and Suffer, but the worst of it. Like, we've already done this, already been here, already heard this. Next.
All right.
That's it.
So my number 9 is The Descent of Man, 15th record from 2010. That's crazy. 15th record. This is just, I don't really have much to hear. It's just a solid Bad Religion record. It's mostly punk stuff. Just good. I really have nothing more than that. The song Meeting of the Minds is my banger off of it, but I playlisted that song. That's actually a really good song.
Did you put it on our main playlist or just your personal
I'll put it on the
Don't be stingy now.
Our
I've already added like 5-10 songs to that main playlist.
I'll add it. Don't worry. We have a big playlist. It's called Argip, and so if you want to link to that Spotify playlist, we'll send it to you. There's like over 500 punk songs on it. It's a pretty wild playlist. Like
fucking 20-25 hours.
Yeah, I know. It's pretty wild.
It's good. Perfect.
It's a very well curated record or fucking playlist. So yeah, my number 9 is The Descent of Man. Who cares? Let's move on. Number 8. What do you got?
Number 8, Recipe for Hate. Number 8, Recipe for Hate. Very much of this era again. This is more of like the Fat Records era sound, leading into like the mid 90s. So like you talked about this one, how you had no banger, dude. American Jesus, that's a fucking catchy song. That's just like,
I don't remember.
If you hear it, it's like the number 1 song on Spotify, dude. It's fucking insanely popular. I don't know. This gets very far away from the iconic aggro punk sound. It's good. It's very, like I said, it's very like Fat Record sounding of the mid 90s. That's it. It's still like a fucking honestly, this is probably still like a 1.
Okay.
Like I'm probably still in the 1 area. Like this doesn't deserve more than a 1. It really doesn't.
Yeah, I know. I'm still at 1 out of 3 too. Like it's. No, I'm going to give it a 1 point. I'll give it a 1.5. A 1.5 out of 3 because they're not these. Most of these records aren't bad, but you don't really need to listen to them more than once. So I'm going to give it a 1.5.
That's a 1, dude.
No, it's not. A 1 is it's a bad album, but you should give it a shot. So I'm giving it a 1.5 because it's not a bad record.
Okay, that's fair.
But I'm never going to go back to it. So, though really the only ones I'm never going to go back to are my bottom 3. So those get 1s. Those get
You're
1s.
never gonna go back to any of these.
Well, I know, but no, but those are just bad records. So that's why they're a 1. Okay. Wow. But everything up until now is a 1.5. There you go.
Okay. All right. I'll jump
my
on
number
board
8.
with that.
My number 8 is Age of Unreason, 17th record, their latest record from 2019. Just solid output for the band. Nothing super exciting about this one, but when I say it's solid output from the band, that's not saying much. You know what I mean? It's
I know.
Not saying much. I know. So Age of Unreason, it just didn't need to ever be written or put out. There's nothing special here. So what do you got for number 7?
The Empire Strikes First, 13th record. This is very top heavy. The first several tracks on this record are absolute fucking bangers. It pretty much, when you get to LA is Burning, then it falls off fast from there. And LA is Burning is a garbage song. I fucking hate that song. And it's so typical of like the Bad Religion bland sound, the BBR, the bland Bad Religion sound, BBRS, bubbers. Plus Infected, but we'll get to there. But the bubbers, LA is Burning is that. This record's fine. Again, like I think Social Suicide is probably like my biggest banger. I already playlisted that one. It's a fucking absolute banger. But the first like 3 or 4 songs are pretty damn good. It's just everything else after that sucks. I don't care. But yeah, bubbers.
All right, so my number 7 is Suffer, 3rd record from 1988. This is just a back to basics punk record after the travesty that was, Into the Unknown, the hiatus and everything like that. So first album back after that. It's good. It's fine. It's just lacking just solid melodies like what came after this, with No Control. So it's certainly not a bad record. I would give this like a 1.75. It's still not really go back to it. What's cool about this record? It took 8 days to record and mix. That's fucking crazy fast. Crazy fast. But also, a lot of bands like just cite this record as being their favorite Bad Religion. Like Fat Mike said, this is his favorite Bad Religion album. A lot of other big punk artists agree with that too. And also, the album cover is very kind of iconic for the punk scene. The kid on fire and shit in the in suburbia. So I don't know. My banger off this one is Best for You. It's just a good punk record. Suffer is a good punk record, but I probably won't ever go back to it. So
good.
What do you got for number 6? Good.
Number 6, No Substance, the record you hated so much. This album gets hated by a lot of people. It's not just you. Like a lot of people fucking can't stand this. I don't know why. Like this is no different than a lot of the stuff they've already put out. It's not like, I don't know. This is mid, just like everything else that they put out is fucking mid. There's some songs in here that sounded exactly like Green Day. There's some songs on here that sounded like anything else that was coming out in the mid 90s. So they're already behind on that sound. But, it's just, there's no fucking difference between this and Empire Strikes First or Recipe for Hate. Like, it's all the fucking same record. I don't give a shit. Hear It, the opener, playlisted. Good punk rock song right there. Tell you that much right now. I want to hear nothing about it. Number 6.
Words. All right, so my number 6, New Maps of Hell, 14th record from 2007. Some people probably think this is blasphemous, but after hearing so much of the same stuff, and then also the Atlantic era, which is arguably the most boring era of this band, so mid to late 90s, early 2000s, like the most boring era. This is something a little bit refreshing. It's a darker, probably their darkest record they've put out. It's dark, gloomy sounding. It's pretty fast paced for the most part. There's a lot of Pennywise sounding stuff, especially with like the drums and the way that he's playing the guitar. It's very Fletcher sounding, but also very like Tom heavy as well with the drums. So yeah, I don't think this is a particularly bad record. I think it's actually kind of a standout record because it sounds slightly different than everything else they've put out. So that's really why it's as high as it is to me. And once again, thank you, Jay Bentley, for pushing back and not making this a double record because God damn, it's already
thinking. That's fucking stupid. That would have been wild.
It would have been. Yeah, there's just no reason for that. No reason for
like, that. Can you imagine an hour-long Bad Religion record? Come on, guys.
I think their longest record was like 47 minutes.
That's way too long.
A 35-minute record, you're pushing it. You're really pushing it with a Bad Religion record for 35 minutes. So, anyway, what do you got for number 5? Go.
Number 5, Stranger Than Fiction, 8th record. Off the coattails of Recipe for Hate, right? Kind of the same sound, but at least this one backs up the shitty songs with really cool punk rock songs. And dude, Infected is just that's a garbage song. That is an absolute garbage song, and I fucking hate it. And it reminds me like, and it's funny because like you complain so much about songs being overplayed, especially like from K-Rock. Dude, this is K-Rock, man. This is K-Rock 100%. And it reminds 100%. Me of the worst parts of K-Rock. And we'll get more into the Bad Religion lore because we did grow up listening to Bad Religion, like just through osmosis and Punkorama soundtracks. So it's just, man, Infected was always on K-Rock, and I fucking hate that song. I really do.
Okay, fine.
I do. It's not a good song. It's not saying it. I don't care.
All right. So what number are we on? Oh shit.
Fives.
Notes. Oh, okay. There we go. My number 5 is True North, 16th record from 2013. This is like them trying to wanting to make a sequel to No Control. Wow. They wanted to do this after hearing, or Brett wanted to make a record like this after hearing Pennywise's record that had just come out called All or Nothing, the one without. What is it? What's the singer's name? Tim Linton? No, not Tim Linton. What the fuck is the singer's name?
Jim Lindberg.
Jim Lindberg. Where did I get? Oh, Tim Linton's from Jimmy World.
Jim, right? Eats Worlds, yeah. I think.
Anyway, yeah. Jim Lindberg. Whatever. So yeah, this is the only Pennywise record to not have Jim Lindberg on vocals, which you hate this record, but All or Nothing, right? That's is All or Nothing.
Oh, we're talking about Pennywise still?
Yeah, Pennywise.
Wait, yeah, was Zoli?
Yeah, with Zoli on vocals, yeah, and their best song is on that record. Anyway,
stupid, so dumb. It's just, it's dumb.
They were inspired. They were inspired by that Pennywise record, which was new at the time, and they put out this record. And I mean, this is honestly some of the fastest, most punk. Dude, your chapstick is so gross every fucking time. Yeah, this is honestly probably some of the fastest, most punk songs they've put out. Are on this record, True North. This is also the last record that they did with Greg Hetson on guitar and Brooks Wackerman on drums. The last record that they put out with those guys. So my number 5, True North from 2013. So what do you got for number 4?
It's kind of interesting. So my number 4 and 3 are pretty damn close. I gave points to my number 3 just for being a breath of fresh air. But my number 4 is Suffer.
Okay.
The classic. I mean, this is classic Berbers, right? This is it. This is more Berbers sounding than like No Control, which I find better, but this is classic sounding Berbers. And
boring Bad Religion sound.
It's fine. Boring Bad Religion sound. It's fine. And it's iconic, and like nobody really does it. And much like Pennywise, you could take Greg out of the equation and they could still play their music, and you're like, oh, that sounds like Bad Religion, because it's just fucking boring as fuck. But I do like this record. I would never buy this on the vinyls, and if I got an OG in the store, I would sell it. But I didn't mind this, and it was a fun listen through. And I was like, oh yeah, I recognize that song. Oh, I've heard that song, and that was cool. Mm-hmm. So I had a good time with it. But my number 3 gets points just for being, again, a breath of fresh air in this whole discography. Number 4, Suffer, Bite Me.
All right. My number 4 is Against the Grain, 5th record from 1990. This one just has a lot of the great melodies and things like, and hooks, like on No Control, but they experiment a little bit more. There's some slower jams, but there's also a lot of metal stuff here, like some chuggy, like big power chord, palm muted metal stuff, which is pretty cool too, which they don't do very often. They're good at it, but they don't do it very often. No, they're not great at it. Just it's a nice breath of fresh air with Bad Religion. It's not the Bibbers sound or the Bibbers thing that they do. So yeah, I don't know. Against the Grain, it's good. It's fun. This is the last record they did with Pete Finestone on drums. He left like a year after this album came out. But yeah, Against the Grain. Banger is Anesthesia. Anesthesia. How do you? Anesthesia.
Point teeth.
Anesthesia. I've never known how to pronounce that word, but yeah, I don't know. That's my banger. So what do you got for number 3? Go.
Well, I was looking at if it's Anesthesia. Anesthesia, yeah.
Is it like the or is it tuh?
I think it's anesthesia. 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 Now it's getting weird.
Yeah. This is like the Kyle thing. Kyle.
Like, is my tongue even working properly? Does make noises? I don't know. That weird anesthesia. Anyway, number 3. Like I said, this gets points. The Process of Belief, their 12th record. Mm-hmm. This gets points because this is coming off their fucking worst record, bar the Christmas one. But going from the New America to this, it was just like, holy shit. And then like, okay, this is the first one Brooks gets on, and now they're trying to get back to like their actual punk days, the iconic Berbers sound, but not the bland part of it. They just want to do the burrs. They don't want the bubbers. So that's why this edged
so
out
annoying.
Suffer. But it, keep up with the lingo, kids. But it makes sense.
I know, you got it. Boring Bad Religion sound. Jesus Christ.
And Bee Gees are producing, right? Brett and Greg, they're producing this one. Everything's coming together really nicely. This is very much like No Control style Bad Religion, and it was enjoyable, and I like this. It was fun, and their biggest hit, Sorrow, is just fucking massive, and that's another one that K-Rock just like beat to death, but I don't mind that one because it doesn't pretend to be like a punk song. It's like a goofy little punk rock song with harms, and it's kind of, it's a little production wise. They tried really hard on this record to write good music, and it shows. And they are a good songwriting duo when they're together, and especially when they're together, like after not being together for a long time, they're pretty good. It's pretty solid.
Yeah.
I like this record.
All right. So my number 3 is How Could Hell Be Any Worse?
That's wild.
That's my number 3. So what do you got for number 2? Or
number 2.
Number 2, yeah.
No Control. No Control, my number 2. Yeah. This is I think this is the best. This is probably the best example of Bad Religion doing everything to their fullest capabilities, right? Melody's super strong. The punk aspect is super strong. they're all really good at like playing together while also being really good at their instruments personally, but nobody sounds out of place. Or like in How Can Hell Be Any Worse? Sometimes people sound out of place, but that's kind of its charm. This is just like maybe objectively their best record. Like everything just came together super, super well.
Yeah.
And this is a perfect blend of like hardcore punk and pop punk. And like at its core, this is a hardcore punk record, but they just could not help but write such fucking catchy songs that it kind of came across as like pop punky. And this is like late 80s too. Like, you know what I mean? We're not even close to even like that pop punk explosion. And it's like, this is already better than a lot of it that came out.
Agreed. So you have a banger off that one?
I have a lot of bangers. I mean, I guess the origin story we'll get on later, but I Want to Conquer the World. But like the title track, No Control, is fucking amazing. And then so dude, use a fucking banger. Like that's, I don't know if that was a single, but that should be a single because that's incredibly catchy. Like, get the fuck out of here. That's a Better Infected. That's a Better Infected. Yep.
So my number 2, The Process of Belief, 12th record from 2002. This is the first album with Brooks Wackerman on drums. Brett Gurewitz is back in the band, like you said. They're the tag team songwriting duo here, and this is they're out of the Atlantic contract, like those 4 records in the mid to late 90s that were just kind of mediocre at best. Yeah, very bibbers or whatever the fucking thing is.
Bibbers.
Yeah, very mediocre. So like there's a ton of punk stuff on here. They really kind of threw it back to the roots, but obviously they threw in some of the big pop stuff too, like in the song Sorrow. I fucking love that song. I don't give a fuck. That song's an absolute banger. It's such a good song, and it's so much fun to sing. And Brooks Wackerman, I mean, just one of the cleanest.
He's 24 years old.
And one of the cleanest punk drummers. I mean, I love Brooks Wackerman. I think Brooks Wackerman is just a top-notch drummer. I mean, what he's done with Avenged Sevenfold too. I mentioned Avenged Sevenfold on the previous episode because, damn, the newest Avenged record, his drumming is unreal on that fucking record. It's so good. So yeah, Brooks Wackerman, great drummer. And banger Supersonic opener. Just, you can't fuck with that opener. It's perfect. It's a perfect song. So it's playlisted. Just great. So number 2, The Process of Belief. So what do you got for number 1? Also, there's a ton of nostalgia for Process of Belief. So much nostalgia. So number 1, what do you got? Go.
Album of the week. How Could Hell Be Any Worse or Get Any Worse?
All right. No Control is my number 1, 4th album, 1989, I believe. Yeah.
89.
Yeah, 89. This is perfect. This is a perfect punk record. It's fantastic melodies. Clocks in at 26 minutes. Perfect Bad Religion. This is just Bad Religion at their peak. You can't get better than this when it comes to this band. Like this is objectively, subjectively their best album. Hands down. Can't deny it. The album, I love the album art, all the bright colors and everything, very late 80s, kind of cheesy, SoCal.
It's very unpunk. It's very effeminate. Yeah. And that's punk, dude.
Love it, dude. Love it.
It's cool, man.
So No Control. Eventually we got to do No Control on the podcast. I mean, someday down the road we'll do No Control. But yeah, it's my number 1. Just one. I think honestly it's like a top 10 punk record of all time.
Oh, girl.
I would say No Control might be a top 10.
Let's not get crazy. Let's not get crazy.
You never know.
We still got a long way to go here. Let's not get crazy.
All right. So thank you all for listening. Go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, give us 5 stars. If you're watching on YouTube, smash that subscribe button, tell your friends, share all the posts, and stay tuned. Main episode, we are getting into obviously Bad Religion and How Could Hell Be Any Worse. So that's it. That's all.